Hello all, this is second part of exception handling in Python programming language. In last lecture, we have started this topic and we have seen various aspects of exception handling in Python programming language. First of all, we have seen the use of try and except block for exception handling in Python programming language. So, if you remember, in try block we write the code that we want to execute and we can monitor the exception, or at the time of execution the exception may occur in that code, and in except block we can give the message to the user about that exception. So up to this we have seen, and various ways to use try except block are using try with multiple except statement, then using the except statement without any exception name, then using except statement with the object of exception, and printing the message using exceptions. Now we have to start discussion about else block. Now in try and except we can add the else block too, because whenever the code written inside the try block is executing, and if any exception does not occur, then user should get the confirmation about the execution of the code written in the try block. So in else part we write the code that will be executed if the exception doesn't occur. So the else statement will be executed when except is not executed. So either except or else block will be executed. The try always executes its statement, but at the time of execution, if any exception don't occur, then the else block will be executed. Otherwise, except block will be executed. Let us see the syntax of it. To handle the exception using try, except and else block, we write the code to monitor for exception in the try. Then in except, we write the exception name, or it is optional, and the message to the user. And in else block we write the code that will be executed if no exceptions occur. Let us see the example for it. Okay. So let us start with using the else block. For example, if I want to try inputting the number, suppose number is equal to int input, enter the number, and suppose I want to print the same number, but it may happen that instead of entering the number, user may enter any character. So of course I need to print the message to the user that it is not a number, or if it is a number then I will print the number itself. So in except block I will write print this is not a number. But if it is a number, I want to print the same number, and user should know about that what number he has entered. So in else block I will write the number is the number itself. So if I run this code, enter the number. If I enter 45, I get the 45. But if I enter any character, for example y, then I get this is not a number. Once again I'll run the program, that if exception is not occurred or except block is not executing, then else block is executing. For example, if I enter a number 78, the output is, the number is 78. Now with the try, except and else block, we can also use the finally block. The finally block is having the code that you want to execute always, which is not depend on except or else block. In case if there is any code which the user want to be executed, whether exception occurs or not, then that code can be placed inside the finally block. Finally block will always be executed irrespective of the exception, generally used for shutdown activities like closing the file, terminating the databases or connections. Let us see the example. For example, in the same example, here suppose I want to add the finally block, and I want to print the user, for example, goodbye. Then in any case this statement will be executing. Run this. Suppose I enter 67, then of course 67 will be printed and the goodbye message will be given to the user. If I enter wrong input, for example key, then I'll get the exception and goodbye message will be printed. So this is all about handling the exceptions in Python programming language. The summary of this try, except, else, finally block that you can see here in the program. Once again, in try block we write the code that we want to execute, but that code may throw the exception or may not. Except block will always execute if the exception is thrown by the try block, and whatever statement we have written inside the except block will be executed. Else block will be executed if exception does not occur and except block is not executing. Then the code written inside the else block will be executing. And then finally, we write the code that we always want to use. So this is all about exception handling in the Python programming language. Now, as you can see, this is the summary of handling exceptions in the Python programming language. The next part of exception handling is using raise statement in Python programming language. Yes, we can use raise to throw an exception if a condition occurs. The statement can be implemented with a custom exception. For example, if I want to check whether a given number is greater than some another number, and if it is so, then I want to raise some exception. Then how I can use this raise statement? Let us see the example. Suppose here suppose n is equal to int input enter number, and I want to check whether this number is greater than 100 or not. So I will write the condition inside the try block. For example, try if number is greater than 100, then print okay, else raise suppose error. But to get this arithmetic error, to raise statement, we should declare here an except number in 100. Let us run the program. So suppose I run the program, and if my entered number is 56, then I'll get the error number is greater than 100. And again, if I run the program and if my number is equal to 0, then I'll get OK message. So this is how I can use raise statement to raise the exception handling in Python programming language. Now we'll move to the next part of this exception handling, that is user defined exception.